Welcome to another episode of Security Shorts with Scott. I am your host, Scott McCrady, and I'm very excited to be talking with our special guest today, Marco Hermosura, security and business leader, managing director for the security operations for DysrupIT, based in a place near and dear to my heart. I was lucky enough to spend 4 years there, Sydney, Australia. Marco, welcome to Security Shorts with Scott. Thanks for joining us.
Hey Scott, thanks for having us. And it's still sunny and one of the greatest places to live. And we're waiting for you to come back at some point, right, to visit us.
It kicked me out after 4 years, so I'm pretty sure I can reapply to come back. So I think there's still a shot.
We'll welcome you back with open arms, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, how's life over there? I know business is pretty good. We'll talk about that here in a second, but make me feel jealous about living in Sydney, Australia.
No, life is good. And as you would imagine, not different from any other global organization. In Australia, there's a big push to work from home from a lot of employees, which is what I'm doing now. Which brings its own, challenges as well. I probably have to excuse my daughter, who's, a 1-year-old, and she tries to knock on my door at any given, opportunity. In fact, I've had a few business meetings where I'm on a roll and really just trying to close deals, and you hear that knock, knock, knock from, the door, and it's my little one trying to call for a cuddle or two. But how can you say no to that, right? Or how can you be angry?
And we all know kids are the best. Kids are the best sales reps, right? They are unstoppable when they have something that they want. So
absolutely,
that's good. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So Marco, we know that every region is different and unique. You're based in Sydney, as we talked about, so you spend a lot of time in the Asia Pacific and Japan markets. Tell us a little bit about the specific challenges that the small, medium businesses are facing in the Asia Pacific region.
Sure. The most obvious one is resource limitation. Small to mid-sized businesses often don't have the same resources as the large corporations do in financial and technical resources, right? So the usual story I get from an IT manager is that they don't have the money to spend on the tools they want to, and they can't hire the people that they really want to in terms of cyber issues. They usually wear a lot of hats, right? And they have a lot of, projects that they're juggling. So really, they just don't have the time or the money to look into it.
Yes, I think that's a challenge everywhere in the world. So it makes sense that Asia Pacific sort of facing the same challenges. This is where you guys specialize. So how is it that DysrupIT helps companies solve those challenges?
Yeah, so really in partnering with Sol Cyber, we offer a real effective, and an affordable cybersecurity solution. It's really designed for small businesses. The people that we talk to about the solution is, really impressed with the package, and more so on how it's in a monthly subscription model, right? So they really find that attractive.
Yeah, so we find that the ability to help people save time and obviously package things up in an OpEx model monthly does tend to resonate with the customers we talk to as well.
100%.
And so, if businesses are new to security or specifically cloud security, what are some of the most fundamental things they should be doing to start improving, or maybe even just getting up to speed on what they should know, but then improving that security posture?
Usually when we talk to people about who are new to this, who don't know what they don't know, the first question we usually ask is what is most important to you, and where does it sit, right? And really that gives us a starting point to say, okay, we'll start here in protecting what's the sensitive data, what's most important to you, and then we'll work outside that, right?
That seems super, super practical. Marco, you and I have known each other a long time, and you've been in the security space a long time. So do you have any real world world stories or examples of how you've helped mid-market companies get more cyber secure?
Well, funny enough, I mean, I wanted to use us as an example, right? I mean, we put our money where our mouth is. We as an offshore organizations, we service really big names, and their customers are big names as well. And we want to make sure that we're cyber secure, right? It's quite important for us. And when we're talking to new customers, and when we're getting audited by existing customers, cybersecurity is top, is one of the top things that they're asking about. And when we put out what we have with the Soul Cyber solution, it's usually, oh, that's quite impressive, right? And we move on, right? And it's just so easy for us to say, this is what we have, and for our customers to say and feel secure and say, yep, that's pretty good, right? I think one of the things that we really want to impress with our customers is that their work and their data is safe with us.
Well, I definitely like that story. So
Obviously
it's going to resonate on my side. But, I think more importantly, we see the same thing with our customers, which we call supply chain compliance, which is they're under a lot of pressure from their large companies that they service, and they really need a comprehensive security capability to sort of get through those inbound audits. So that's great to hear. And I know that you all have a great business, and the goal is to try to make everybody be able to clear those and win business very easily and effectively. So
you find a lot of these, larger organizations, they're taking a lot more time to, what you said about supply chain. They're trying to really impress that, that's one area that's quite vulnerable for them. Yeah. So there's a lot more regulations, a lot more policies and compliance around that. And we seem to pass that with flying colors with Soul Cyber.
That's great. One of the things that we know, and that's very difficult in the space, is staying ahead of the cyber threats. We know that the threat today is very different than it was even a year ago. Are there anything that you all do that helps your customers sort of stay ahead of the threat?
Yeah, we encourage, continuous learning and training, and then we do that ourselves. People are, a weak link, and we find that the more we train and the more that these guys are exposed to what's out there and how to counter that, that seems to help quite a lot, right? A good example is, we started, our executives started getting impersonated, right, by emails. It kind of like, I said that's quite a badge of honor, saying, well, the bad guys think you're worth copying now, right? Which also on the other side, that's not really good. But our employees haven't seen that before, right? And I think we were ahead by saying this is what it could look like. And our IT manager was really happy to say that there was a lot of employees who reported that quite quickly, right? It's because that, the training saw that. So I think we're, being ahead is really just, part of it is really knowing what's out there, right? Mm-hmm. Our investment in security teams, I mean, we got for a small organization and, and as I said before, given who our clientele, we invested in an IT security manager to really sit on top of that as another layer to make sure that, we are ahead, that, we just, we do rely on the managed service from Soul Cyber, but we're also on top of that, and, collaboration with cyber communities. We talk to sizes, we talk to IT security managers all the time. I talk to obviously vendors and other resellers to just get a feel for what's out there, right? Because, knowledge is power, and knowing what's out there is really helpful.
Awesome. Yep. It's funny how when you get to a certain size, it is sort of a weird thing to be impersonated, but you're also like, okay, now they know about us. Final question here, Marco, before we wrap. Okay, you're building out the cybersecurity arm for Disrupt. Just sort of curious, what were some of the things that brought you to Soul Cyber as far as the partnership?
Oh mate, it was such a headache when I first started. They asked me to come in, hey, build a cybersecurity practice. I'm like, oh, okay, that's so easy, right? So you're looking at different vendors. That was all right because I was aware of a lot of what the vendors were doing out there and where it all fits, who had a platform or who were the best of breed and how you connect all that together. What I found most challenging was people, right? And how do you build an effective incident response team, right? Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things that, I'm having trouble with the CFO saying, all right, if these SOC analysts don't sleep and they don't take annual leave, I could probably have 4 rolling analysts at any given time, which will cost you X. Yeah. Right. And that still gave us a headache, right? Because that's something, even from an offshore perspective, was quite expensive, right? Yeah. So, with Soul Cyber, we kind of said, well, the tools are there, the people are there, which obviously we're in a true partnership we're providing for you. So why don't we just adopt this, right? And it just kind of made sense for us that we take this into Asia Pacific in true partnership and be that arm for you guys to make sure that we offer this to SMBs. So it was quite. It was, from building one thing, which would take hours and hours and hours, to saying, hey, let's partner up and have this and be able to take this on quite quickly. So that's the short story of it.
No, I appreciate that. And obviously that's the beautiful thing about partnerships, right? Because you have all the expertise in the world. You can buffer it with all the amazing talent that Disrupt has. And obviously we're trying to help you on the security side. So appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, the expertise, right? Like we didn't want to, reinvent the wheel. You guys are the best in this area, and, partnership, only made sense. And obviously the shared vision, right? Both our companies want to provide, cybersecurity for small businesses and mid-tier. So here we are.
Awesome. Well, Marco, again, thank you for joining us on Security Shorts with Scott. Very much appreciate having you here, and look forward to seeing you again face-to-face, hopefully soon.
Too easy. Thanks, Scott. See you, man.
Cheers.